Hello, you magical world-changing wonders out there. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Part of the Conversation series, the series that wants to tackle everything regarding mental health, the series that wants to fight back, the series that wants to look out for you and the people that you love, your friends, family, and the wider community. We'll hope you all had a brilliant Christmas. For the people who enjoy Christmas, and for the people that don't, and the time of year where, people really struggle, you're here, you made it, you got through it.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Well in. Right. Today, I'm joined by Caitie Tate.
Hello.
And delighted to have her on. And
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's crack on.
Let's do it. Yeah, excited.
Yeah. Well, first off, the winner of the recent Stars in Her Eyes competition at the Villa.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, that was really exciting. A lot of people actually didn't know who Ellie King was, and then until I started singing, they're all like, everyone's like, "Oh, I know that song." Like, yeah. So it was a good experience. Yeah.
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 So what was? Tell us a bit more about it.
So I finished my DBT therapy earlier on the year in September, and part of my part of the therapy and what my counsellor said is pushing boundaries and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So when the competition came up, I just had to do it. And also, to be honest, I was very struggling financially, so that £1,000 was literally my goal. Incentive. It was my massive incentive, and it was weird. Like, I don't know, like those kind of competitions. I know, like the kind of music group, like, some people shame you for going on to those things, you've
got a talent, and the stage was there to perform.
Yeah. But I kept it so quiet. I didn't tell many people. I was kind of a little bit embarrassed, but and the build up to it, I was so stressed. I was just pulling my hair out, and I was like, I needed money. I needed to sort everything out, and then costumes and stuff like that, and
But having that there, that pushes you through.
It really I'm so proud of myself for pushing myself through that. It was very nerve-wracking, but when the actual day came, I was so caught. It was the weirdest feeling. It was just a nice floaty high, and I was just
you ready?
So confident. Yeah, I knew it. I was zoned into it, and I was like, I've got this.
In the belly, you're ready to go.
I knew it. I was just in my head. I was like, I am winning this. I knew it. I was like that. I was manifesting it. There was no other way.
That's the attitude.
Yes,
that's the attitude.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it's just being positive and literally just manifesting and keep telling myself this is going to happen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to achieve this. And
but it's having a go.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you won, but even if you hadn't, it's still.
I still would have loved
that
it.
thing of, pushing yourself, as you said, out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And just having a go.
Yeah.
And that's what life is about.
Literally,
you're gonna fail. You're gonna fall.
Yeah.
You've got to get back up.
Absolutely.
You've got to just give things a go.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to fail at things. That's part of life. It builds character, builds resilience.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we've got a winner here. Let's,
Thank you.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah. Cheers.
So obviously your musical background anyway.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Are you doing anything? Has that inspired you to get back into?
Whoa, my God, 100%. So
we've known each other a long time.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
I know that passion that you have for music, the same as me.
Yeah, 100%.
And when you disappear for a little bit, same as me. It takes something to bring you back and go, right, that I need to, that makes my soul happy.
Yes.
I need to be back.
It is what I live for. That experience doing, and just playing and performing, and I haven't done it for about maybe 6 years because of my anxiety and everything just kind of went downhill a few years ago. No, it was great. And I've never heard such an applause. It was so loud, and the feeling is just you just can't describe it.
Affirmation, it's all the worry that you have yourself.
Literally.
And people don't realise, if you've ever got up on a stage in front of a crowded room,
it's can be terrifying
to sing or to do anything.
Yeah,
it is terrifying.
Yeah,
and it's that thing where you get that reaction.
Yeah.
And it's right.
Oh, I've instantly
all the anxiety goes. It's right, I'm meant to be doing this.
So it was just instantly as soon as I got off the stage, I was like, I have to keep doing. I need that feeling and experience. So currently,
it's like a drug in itself, isn't it?
Oh my God, 100%. like it is just such a thrill and a buzz.
Love
and
me.
yeah, literally. Well, no, it's not like, it's just, I don't know. It's when I perform and like sing, it's just like going to like another place of yourself, and like, it just, it makes my soul happy. Like I feel like I'm shining. Yeah. Like
I find it's the true me. You know,
yeah,
you can
literally.
get everything out.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when you songwrite, and it's like the things that you wouldn't
music
necessarily
like is your soul,
say to people.
Yeah.
But if you can get it out there, and sort of, just sort of get it out of your system.
Literally, like
and music does play a massive part in people's lives.
Oh, 100%.
You know, it's the soundtrack to.
Well, it's our lives, like
your good moments and your bad. Everything's tied in with music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like they say when you're sad, you listen to the music.
Yes, yeah.
When you're happy, you listen to the
yeah.
Or is it the other way around? I don't know. I think it's the other way around.
Maybe.
You'll know what I mean anyway out there.
But it's good for the soul, man. Like especially music. Like you can listen to like a song and it can just trigger memories. And like I listen to music all day, every day. Literally, like I will not go throughout the day without listening to music all the time, unless I'm like obviously hanging out with someone and having a conversation. But no, music all day, every day. Yeah.
See, that's not a bad thing.
And no, it's great.
Well, it takes you somewhere else.
Yeah, literally.
Anything that can take you out of your own head and the things that you're struggling with and you're worried about, just that escapism.
Yeah.
For, even if it's for 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes that you're not thinking about other things.
Yeah, 100%.
Which are wrecking your head, which is a good thing. And speaking of wrecking your head, so do you want to give us a bit of a background into obviously your struggles with your mental health over the years? Yeah.
So I can say we'll start off with what I've been diagnosed with now, which is all the alphabet. So I have OCD, complex ADHD, anxiety, depression, and emotionally unstable personality disorder, and PTSD. I don't know if I mentioned that. So that got diagnosed 2 years ago, and then recently this year I got diagnosed with complex ADHD, and
that's quite a list.
It's I know, I got quite a lot, like
Don't do things by halves.
No, I like go big or go home. Like that's how I live my life. It is a struggle, like because like it's not only that I have, because I know people do know me that I'm a firecracker. I'm a bit mental, and that's fine. But I also have fibromyalgia and like nerve damage and pain. So it's not just that I'm suffering mentally, physically, and it's draining. And
but
I
you
wouldn't
find as well when you're struggling mentally. I mean, your physical health. Kind of tied in.
100%. Yeah.
When you feel.
Yeah.
You think rubbish, you feel rubbish.
Yep.
Like it does. It seeps into your physical well-being.
I also have a like a visceral muscle spasm because of being like hunched over and like so stressed. It's caused so much like nerve damage in my neck. So, like
so that's probably things people don't. You don't take into account the physical aspect. When people are suffering badly with their mental health, everything's tied into it. Yeah,
it's like when I did, obviously we'll speak about that a bit later, but when I did the Recovery College mental health first aider, they even just explained people with certain mental health conditions, they referred it to as like actual physical ailments, and the likes of myself with borderline personality disorder or EUPD, that's as bad as like having like cancer, and like it's terminal, and the way they explained it, if you could know what it's like in the mind but actually see it physically in the body,
it's a trauma.
Well, it's just, and people would actually, you can't see any of my injuries, because they're just inside, and it's just, it's a weird one. Like.
And I think that's an important thing that people need. This is where we've been encouraging in the last episodes, where we've got to help each other. We've got to be more caring towards each other.
Yes.
People are going through things that, because you don't see it on the outside, which is why we've got to be more compassionate and look out for each other. Yeah, so that's a great example of the fact what you just said there. People can't see it.
It's
but it doesn't mean that it's not there.
Yeah,
so.
And it is hard. Like I've been now signed off since May. No, not even May last year. The year before. So about a year and a half. And I'm just exhausted. It really, even when my brain's in a good place, but my body just won't keep up with me. It is hard. Like,
And it is.
Yeah.
Any battle.
Yeah.
It is like a war.
Literally every day, just waking up can be just, hellish. And it's like, right, okay, I've got to do this and get through it.
Energy and just finding, getting through a minute at a time, an hour at a time.
Yeah. Take it
and
second by second.
We were saying just before, wasn't it? Just,
yeah.
And a bit of advice to anyone out there. Don't think too far ahead. No. You're in here now.
That's also one of the greatest things that I am.
Just day by day.
It's just living in now. It's obviously I do struggle with disassociation at times. So when I kind of completely not here, or I don't kind of believe that reality is here, but it's bringing that yourself back and going, okay, I'm in the root, and like it's enjoying it. Enjoy just the silence. If you just sat there, just. Also, like, embrace your thoughts. They're not going to hurt you. And, like, you can...
I think it's the overthinking.
Oh, my God, yeah, 100%.
I think that's a lot of people. I mean, I'm guilty of that
myself.
Oh,
100%. Well, I can get into some proper paranoid states, but that's, like, when I'm having a manic moment. But, you just got to pull yourself back in. And it is hard. Like, I go see my parents and speak to them and get their, like, guidance or, my best friends and stuff like that. But... living in the moment,
and it's important to have that support network around you. I mean, not everyone's
so necessary
to have that.
And if anyone would like any support, give me a shout. Tate Facebook. I'll happily talk to anyone, chill out. I've got some life advice, maybe, I don't know.
So obviously, we've talked about your struggles and the things there. So going back to when you were a kid, obviously you weren't born here.
I was not.
I know you're from the US of A.
Oh yes, I'm technically I'm still there.
Y'all.
Yeah, I'm originally from Oklahoma. I was born there in 1991, and then my parents got divorced, and then I moved over here to the Isle of Man in 1997. In November, on the 5th of November. That was actually a very traumatic day for me because we arrived here, met new family, we're in a big field, and then I see people throwing an effigy of a man onto a fire and fireworks. It was a very bizarre day, but it's actually weird because that's when I start to get my winter depression. So that moment it was such a huge move, not like...
do you think that did play a part
It massively affected me.
I
can kind of remember some of my childhood in America, but it's also hazy. I definitely have had sexual trauma as a child, and I can try not to remember that, but I'm going to be working through that, hopefully trauma therapy in the future. My dad is absolutely fucking mental. He's got, I presume, emotionally unstable personality disorder, but he just terrorized my mother. And he was just very mental, have manic stages. He would sit there and pretend that she's not in the room and that he killed her, and he's talking to the police about how he would take us and go leave, and just crazy stuff.
Quite disturbing.
Oh my God,
and for a young kid to be growing up in a household with that kind of thing.
And it's just, I have some really horrific memories, but.
So with that, then the divorce and the move.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a lot for anyone, but
that's
as a young child as well.
My counsellor did say they think that's what definitely caused the EUPD, and then also because I've had some sexual trauma as well. But then I moved here, which was massive shock, massive change. I got horrifically bullied in Peel. By the way, fuck you guys in Peel. Sorry, peace and love. But I got
not everyone in Peel. We'd just like to clarify that.
Sorry.
You are very welcome on the Part of the Conversation.
You're very loved, Claire.
Podcast.
No, it's no. I like to make make a joke of everything. But I moved to Peel when we first came here in 1997. Went to Peel Cloth Workers, and I got horrifically bullied for being American. It was
different, especially then. It's
it was crazy.
I mean, I'd like to think the island's kind of changed.
Oh, 100%
for the better in some ways.
Oh God, yeah.
A lot more accepting. Yeah, it's diverse, which is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, the modern world.
I love the Isle of Man. I've obviously how my life's gone on, but I had the chance when I was 13. My mother sent me back to America as punishment for smoking. And I lived with my dad for a few months, and I could have stayed there, but I prefer the Isle, man. Like 100%. I just think it's such a great place, and the community.
Yeah.
And you can see as well, it is changing, and everyone seems to be like rallying around each other and like being supportive.
And that is important. That's how things do change.
Just, yeah.
You know, you can't do it alone.
No, absolutely not. If
It
I didn't
takes
have
everyone to come together to, you know,
yeah,
to make things happen.
It takes a lot to sort your mental health out, and even then, now, like, I'm not 100% perfect, but it's a lot of work. I'm now 31, going on 32 this year, and it's only now that I'm feeling better.
But I think it's an acceptance as well.
Yes, it
when
is.
you battle so long,
Yeah.
it's like, this isn't right. I
Yeah.
need,
Yeah,
you know, and it's having the courage for a start,
yeah,
but valuing yourself
yeah,
to go, I deserve a better life than
Yeah.
this. Why should I have to struggle?
100%.
You know, go and seek help.
Yeah, it's just
You know, make that phone call, start that conversation, go and speak to someone. You know, that's all it takes. That's
Yeah.
the first step. And it's so important that people recognise that and go and do it.
yeah, it's
You know, 'cause
it's
there'll be people out there that
Yeah.
they'll relate to that, the childhood traumas
yeah.
on some level.
yeah, yeah,
And, you know, kids of divorce.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
I'm lucky enough that I'm not, but I know
Yeah.
there's loads of people
Yeah.
out there, and the effect that it does have. You know, and there's people that are going through life and with unresolved issues.
100%.
You know, there's no shame in it, in asking for a bit of help.
No,
Go and get it done.
it's
Go and do it. Make your life better. Make that change. That is the whole point. We're talking about changes,
yes,
positive changes, things you can do, and the community, like everything now, is more supportive.
yeah,
People want to help you.
Yeah.
People want to listen.
the help
They're
is
bothered.
there.
They care about you.
Yeah,
So go and get it done.
yes.
That's the
Sad.
message.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my life.
Celebrity juice. But yeah. What's the message?
So I moved to Peel, got bullied. One of my good memories is it was 9/11, because obviously I'm the only American child in the school. Principal comes down, or the headmaster tells me, and then during lunch, a boy, and I still remember his name to this day, but he
Don't name him.
No, I'm not going to. No, I'm not naming any names. He shouted at me and said I was an American terrorist to bomb the school, and I spent a whole hour being chased around that Peel school.
But kids can be cruel.
They
And
were,
and if you're
yeah,
different,
so cruel.
and I think that's the thing,
Yeah.
especially back then, because anything different.
Yeah, I would
You know,
just.
the kids I went to school with, we all grew up
Yeah, literally, yeah.
with each other. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Everyone's mum and dad knew each other.
Yep.
It was, you know, a very close sort
Yeah.
of community.
Oh, back then, like, obviously arrived in like 97. Like, I was definitely like massive foreigner. Like, it was like, okay.
Trailblazer, a maverick.
But yeah, it was an interesting time, and then
I'm
moved to
gonna
Castletown.
jump back to the you touched on there earlier about the therapy.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know myself. We've spoken about it
Yeah.
before, and I believe that it's really helped me. So how was your experience of it, and what was
yeah.
how do you feel that it's helped you, and you know, advice to other people?
Yeah, 100%. I will.
Don't be scared of these
No,
things. These
like-
services are there because people do struggle,
Yeah,
and the services are there because they want to help people.
100%. Yeah.
Two people here that have actually gone and done therapy.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And I last year changed my life 100%. So at the end of 2020, I had a massive mental breakdown, and then I was in and out of Banana Court, and then got prescribed antipsychotics and whatnot, and then got my
do you
diagnosis.
think
So
part of the lockdown and everything that was going on.
that I feel so sorry for everyone for that lockdown. Like that destroyed me as a person. It really did. And I just went downhill, and I ended up being like a full-on alcoholic, because I was drinking like 2 bottles of wine every night, and then I'd go to work and I'd be drinking like 8 pints of Guinness and
Just
two,
coping.
and yeah, it was just, and because I was in such a I don't give a fuck about myself stage. I was taking also my medication, so
Which isn't a good
yeah, and I was
combo.
and I was just popping them, and it got to the point where I was telling my staff, because I was supervisor of this bar, I'd write down all the medication I had taken, and I was literally said, like, you know, if anything happens to me, you can tell the paramedics that's what I've had. And
Nuts.
yeah, I was in a reckless place. Like, it was really hard for people. Like, you know, I'm amazed that I survived. So yeah, at the end of 2020, in and out of Milan court, finally got my diagnosis for, it was originally called borderline personality disorder, but now it's called emotionally unstable personality disorder. And I have done DBT therapy, which is dialect behavioral therapy, which I did about a year's course. It changed my life. If you do, I recommend it to be fair, we all
So
sit
like behavioural patterns, which we're all...
Yeah, it's basic. It's like trying to retrain your brain of how you think and how you view the world, about yourself, people, anything. We did a lot of thing about like how you think judgmentally, like
sort of thought process.
Yes, and it's just
making that judgment, making them decisions,
and learning how to control anger. So like obviously it's more common known as BPD, but like there's a thing called borderline rage, and I've damaged some things. I don't know if you were in the house when I lived there, when I put the chair through the glass door.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
There was a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That went on in that
Oh
house.
God, yeah, that was a silly house. But yeah, no. It's learning how to control anger and not get to that proper like raging state. So,
and there'll be people out there that suppressing that you feel that frustration, that anger, that rage.
It's horrific.
Is it the frustration with yourself or the frustration on the outside world that don't understand?
It's both. So, and like I know when I'm gonna flip. And I will warn people. I'm like, right, because I'm not an angry person. I'm very chilled out. Yeah, I'm just happy go lucky, to be fair. So when I get angry and like when I get into a borderline rage, I'm violent. Just last year, I unfortunately had a massive fight with my best friend in France and pulled a knife on her. And that was the state I was in. I was incredibly drunk though. But I got a beer, but I've got my drinking in control now. And it was horrific. I was scratched things into the car. I broke a window, stomped on my friend and literally tried to beat the shit out of her. And yeah, and that's just, and as soon as it's over, you're like, well, what the fuck did I just do?
But then people, like, you can have that.
Yeah, it's
certain moments, and then that realization. You have to do something about it. That you can't. Yeah. You can't do that.
So that was my last actual outburst. And then when I came home, because I came home the next day immediately, I was like, I need to get out of France. I need to go home.
I mean, that was me. Like, I'd be putting you back
you'd be gone. My parents are like, right, we spent £600, get back home immediately. It's like, okay. Because, I mean, if the police were called, I'd have been fucked. Yeah. I'd have been in jail. Like, and my mother used to, like, she's okay now, and like, but talking to DBT and stuff with therapy, my therapist, Keith, which if you do DBT, Keith, 100% go for Keith. Like, he is the best guy ever.
Big shout out to Keith there.
Yeah, no, 100%. Honestly, he's just one of the, I will always remember him now. Like, he's just helped me and changed my life. And he's so funny.
There's people like that, you know, changing people's lives.
He
long-sung heroes that just go about their day
hero.
Doing their thing, and we've all got that in us.
Yeah,
we can all change our lives, and we can help change someone else's life
100%
for the better.
And like, even if that's just what I do, like if I'm put on this earth just to, you know, try to make someone else's life better, like that makes me happy. I like making people happy. Like, just
to get each other through.
Yeah, literally, it's an experience, and it's just a ride. As Bill Hicks, like, gotta love it. Yeah.
You know. So the therapy.
Yes.
You've said about that episode there in France.
Yeah.
So the medication side of things.
Yes. Yeah. So, right now my medication is perfect, but I've had ups and downs in the past few years. So, originally when I was 18, I was on medication for about, I was about 19. For about 4 years, and that's when I was signed off for 4 years solid, and they put me on different medication. It turns out that me being American, that Prozac is the one that works for me. So I'm on Prozac. I am on pregabalin, which helps for my nerves. I am on lexidemiamphetamine, which is for my ADHD medication, and then I think that's it actually. Yeah. I think I have been on antipsychotics before, and they were quite a ride. Yeah. And then obviously I've got 2 different types of sleeping pills because I just my insomnia just can't switch my brain off. Like, it's really, really difficult. That's one of the hardest things for me to do.
I mean, we're probably think a little bit different on the medication side of things. I know that, you know, when we've spoke about it before, that how they've helped you and that you're very pro the medication.
Well,
I mean, I'm not anti-medication, but I think my issue is the fact that maybe some doctors are too quick to prescribe.
100%. Yeah.
And is it really healthy to have a society that is literally being propped up by pharmaceutical companies?
No, 100. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So and obviously myself, you know, I've been on medication in the past myself a number of times over the years. Yeah. I think they settle the ship.
Yeah.
Times.
Yes. Yeah.
When waters are choppy, it gets. Yeah. And you kind of need them, and I've needed them. They have been actual lifesavers.
Yes.
I think
100%. Yeah.
But then like in anything, the side effects.
Yeah. Well, like that. When they gave me, when I had my proper breakdown at the end of 2020, they gave me some antipsychotics called quetiapine, and I used to like call them quiet time because it would literally, you'd just be blank, and at times it was good, but I didn't feel anything, and like
that's the danger. Being numbed.
100%, and like I also like, and I gained so much weight. I literally shot up like 2 stone within like a few months. Thank God, like it's taken me a year, but I finally lost it.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
The weight gain. Yeah. And then you feel worse, like
literally,
it's like a self-esteem thing. Like
it destroyed me.
For it, and it's like these are meant to be making me feel better.
Yeah. And
So and I think a lot of people, you know, I won't be the only one out there that's been on medication in the past and a bit wary of it. Yeah. So is there different avenues, there different methods, different ways that, apart from the medication, that you feel you're open to, or that you've tried to?
No, it was actually hard for me because going back to when I was like 23, 24, and that's when I got the house with the mister, and he was so against it, and obviously that was a very, very, very toxic, abusive relationship, but he was so against me taking medication, so I stopped. And
it is a choice.
Choice. And I did get through those times, but those years were absolutely horrific as well because of what I went through. But at the end of 2020, when they put me on medication, I was distraught, and I said to my mother, "It's like, this is my life. Like, I'm just gonna, I like need to take medication." And she said to me, "She's like, you know, Caitlin, if you had, an illness and you need to take medication for it, like broken leg or rest, you have to do that." And she's like, "So with your, it's okay." So, and I've accepted it now that I'm going to be on medication all my life, and I'm fine with that because the way I feel now is it's worth it. And like 100%, you should do DBT. DBT should be taught everywhere. Like it really should. It should be taught in classrooms to children. It's that, and like the right medication is just saved my life. Really, really
and
helped
other
me.
Things along with the medication.
Yeah, like
there's different things out there. The cold water therapy.
That's absolutely brilliant.
We're going to be getting someone on the series who's going to do an episode with me, who's going to talk about the cold water therapy.
Really good.
There's loads of different things. I mean, I tried a Cambo. A friend of mine, Sam, he does. He's a Cambo practitioner.
I have no idea what that is.
It's like an ancient Amazonian tribal.
Ooh,
thing.
I like that.
I was going to be.
Yeah, that's up my alley. Yeah.
We're going to get Pempe on.
Nice.
Later in the series, and he's going to be talking about that in a bit more detail. So there's loads of things out there that people alongside the medication, if that's what you choose to do.
They've got that also walk and talk, isn't it?
Yeah, I do that.
Brilliant. And like,
there's a couple of groups there.
I
do Soulmates, it's called.
Nice.
And we stomp up and down the prom every Wednesday, 6:15, meeting at the sea terminal. So get yourselves down there.
Happy days. Be there next week.
It's just different things, and it's finding different methods, different ways that work for you.
Yeah, how to cope.
Like say your medication thing.
Also cleaning. I am an absolute clean freak. Like with the ADHD and OCD, like cleaning, I don't know, like try it. It's so calming. And then once you're done, you're like, everything looks beautiful.
I mean, I don't know if you can hire Caitie, to be honest.
I'll take a while.
We'll
like,
sort
but-
something out. Yeah, we'll put prices and stuff in the description
Yes, please.
below.
God.
So 50 quid an hour and that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like you touched on there, the relationships and things like that,
Yes.
the anti-medication thing.
Yep.
But how do you think your mental health and your struggles over the years, and same as me, it's been many years,
Yeah,
how do you think
God.
that it's affected your relationships with people, your family, your friends,
Oh, God.
partners,
Yeah. So
and jobs as well? I mean, I
I've
know
lost many
I've
a job.
been in and out of jobs because,
I'm signed off again. Like, yeah.
and that was because I stayed silent instead of saying,
Yep.
I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I'd vanish.
Yeah.
I'd just disappear,
Yeah.
and that was my way of coping.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
not
no, I
letting
explode.
anyone in and explain myself.
Yeah.
And it does become a pattern.
Yeah.
Like we said,
It's-
so it's breaking them patterns.
Yeah.
And this has helped me doing
Yeah.
this podcast.
Absolutely.
To be more
I'm
open
so
and
happy
honest
to be
about
here and
what's
talk about
going
it.
on. And I think more employers, more workplaces need to be doing these courses.
Literally, yes.
They need to be speaking to their staff and looking after their well-being.
Yeah, my
Very
last
nuts.
job, the first manager, great, looked after me, understood that I had these problems, with my medication after I kind of had my big blowout. But then a new manager came in and she just bullied me, and it got to the point where I just snapped. And it was like, and I knew, and I had to get signed off, and then eventually I did quit and leave and resigned. But I even said to my manager, because he was dating the other manager, so hence why I didn't get any help with that. But I said to him, I was like, if I continue being in this environment, I will just smash her head off the bar. And I will, I will get to that point where I will just get violent. And it's just, I don't like to do that. And I don't like those relationships. I've been violent with my mum. I've hit her before. Fought my best friend. It's just, it does affect relationship. It's hard, like, especially with my mother, the amount of times that, I've had, suicide attempts, and she's had to get there with the paramedics, and it's just, it's a
strain
lot.
on that relationship.
It breaks my heart how much my parents have gone through with me, and it's never ending. Like, I think last week I had a big paranoid breakdown. I'm more in control of them, which is good. They're not crazy breakdowns. They're more like, minimal. But I have to accept that that's going to happen.
And
There's
ways of getting through them.
Literally, and like I can ride through, just be like water, like go through
That's
it.
why it's so important to talk.
Yes.
And so
Oh my
people
God.
know.
Yeah. If I didn't have my parents, I don't know what to do, and it does upset me that I know the stress that it is, and thank God I'm never having children. But it's a lot. It doesn't. Mental health doesn't just affect you; it affects your loved ones around you,
Yeah.
and that's also really hard because if you're self-aware of that, you take on that burden, and it makes things worse. But
And there will be people out there
yeah,
listening to this, watching this.
yeah,
You understand that.
yeah, and
and we understand it. We get it.
yeah,
Unburden yourself.
yeah.
You don't have to carry that around
They,
with
like,
you.
The people in your support system love you no matter what. And I've pulled a knife on my best friend, and we are still best
And
friends.
it can be tough at times. It
Yeah,
can be
it can-
testing.
yeah,
and,
it's
arguments and
Yeah.
the occasional sort of relationship
Yeah.
breakdown. But
Yeah.
when you love something and you
Yeah.
care about it, like everything finds a way eventually. But it starts with being open and honest
Yeah.
with each other. Dialogue, starting that conversation, so people know, and then people, they can understand how to help you.
yeah,
And that's what this whole thing is about. How can we help each other? How can we get each other through
yeah,
these
100%.
So where do you think you are in your battle?
I'm actually, so since last year getting my ADHD medication and stuff, like that's helped amazingly. And then also doing DBT therapy, and then doing the mental health course. So
The recovery college?
yeah, Recovery College, which is open and free to everyone. I highly recommend it. They do a mental health first aider course. It's 2 days. It is absolutely free, and I recommend it to everyone, whether you are an employer, worker, or just want to help family and friends. There was a mother there trying to understand her daughter, and
See,
get
these
better
things are out there.
understanding.
Go and do them.
They are, and
Go and do them.
for myself, struggling with quite a lot of mental illness, to go there and learn as well. And I got to tell other people my experiences, so everyone got to learn that day, and it was great.
And
I
you learn a bit
recommend
about
it.
yourself.
Yeah,
When you better understanding
Yes,
yourself
yeah,
and what you're going through.
It's been a wild ride the past year, but the amount of growth I've had and like just feel better. Like I can literally feel like a weight off my shoulder, and I've just been happy, you know, like it's just.
And that's the plans for the future.
Yeah,
just
literally,
be happy.
I'm taking it a day by day, minute by minute, second by second.
You're gonna get back into your music.
Absolutely,
I'm
hopefully shout out to people like I'm trying to get a Tool covers band going. I have spoke to a few people, but we'll get that done. Yes, I want to get a Tool covers band going. Maybe some other bits of music, but
and it's good to have
yeah.
like be optimistic for the future.
Yep.
There's always hope out there. That's what we try and say to people, that even through the darkest days, there is a bit of light at the end of that tunnel. There's hope.
100%.
Nothing's a lost cause.
No.
And while we're here and doing this series, we'll do everything we can to help you, to
Yes.
put advice out, to get people on. And if there's one thing that resonates with you, act on it. That's all we're asking.
Yeah.
You know, if you think someone could benefit from listening to this or any of the other episodes, share it.
Yeah.
Send it to start that conversation, be part of the conversation. And that's basically
literally,
it.
I think,
that
is
the
also
message.
what helped me is be open. You can come up and talk to me if anyone wants to speak to me. I'll tell you my whole life story, and you know I like to have a lot of anecdotes and make fun of trauma. But
I'll get my Glaspel in.
Yeah. It's a good way to deal with trauma is the humour. But just be open, and I can't express how greater my life has been, and like I want this for other people. It was literally like a switch in my head, and I really hope that, you know, get out there, speak to people. We are here, we can help. There's great courses to take and, you know, really enrich your life. I didn't think last year that I would get through another winter, and it's been one of the best winters of my life. And
And here we are, new year.
Literally.
Still here.
And I'm excited to be here.
Still
and I'm
battling, still fighting.
Yes.
And that's it, not giving in.
No.
It's a new year,
Yeah.
and we're all still here. Make the most
You made
of it.
That's the one whole thing about, you know, some people, I don't know how they celebrate New Year, but I celebrate it because I made it.
Yeah.
I survived another year. And that, I think, is one of the greatest things you can achieve, really. And like, I'm now excited about life, and I really, really want and push people to, you know, do DBT therapy, get help, speak to the right people, and, you know, like actually feel better, like have a life worth living. And that's definitely what I have now.
See, a life worth living. We all deserve that.
100%.
And yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thanks to Caitie for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. Love it.
And to you for watching out there, thanks very much for joining us. Go and like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go and share it. Look after each other. Look after yourself. Stay gold. We'll see you soon.
Peace and love.